Why do you believe that Judge Kenner took an early retirement then?
Because I have lasted for years filing over the docket sheet. It clearly shows there was over 200 entries. And this case clearly they start to implement the U.S. trustee, the trustee, the federal judges, and I believe behind the scene she was told to resign, as well as the trustee Stephen Gray. They both resigned to protect their pension, number one, but also to protect of any investigators who's going to go into this case. They don't want to be residing judges in America.
So do you believe that they were likely to be investigated?
Absolutely. That's why they resigned.
I have here, which I will read, an order of reassignment. I know for a number of times you had asked for your case to be reassigned, and Judge Kenner refused to do that. You had asked for a change of venue. She refused to give you that. But upon her retirement, she reassigned your case. But what she did is she seemingly picked the person that she wanted to reassign the case to, rather than putting it into a pool and allow the clerk to make that decision. Why do you think that happened? And let me read what it says here. I hereby reassign the contested matter to Judge Noel B. Rosenthal of the Western Division of the Massachusetts Bankruptcy Court. This reassignment does not affect the continued validity of the court's order barring Mr. Mourad from coming to the Boston Bankruptcy Court at 10 Causeway Street. A couple of things happened there.
Yes.
One, she barred you from coming to the court to continue to file motions, which is your legal right to do. File as many motions as you wish. Secondly, she did something that appears to be unprecedented by assigning it to a particular judge. Why do you think that happened?
Okay, let me elaborate on that. Number one is she barred me out of the bankruptcy court without a reason and without a hearing, and that is a violation of my First Amendment right as an Arab American. Clearly, I feel as a second-class citizen in the bankruptcy court under Judge Carol Kenner. Second, the reason she has allowed this change of venue, I got tired of her. I want an appeal. Who is responsible to pay the taxes and the negligence on Stephen Gray in the year 2000? In 4 years, she did not allow me a trial. And she was ordered by the 3 judges, the appellate court, I'm entitled to evidentiary trial. So therefore, I filed the motion, and I notified the U.S. Marshal that I'm going to go, it's my First Amendment right, only to the clerk office, and I'm going to file the change of venue. The U.S. Marshal met me at the 11th floor. They said, Mr. Mourad, we don't want to arrest you today. You've already been arrested once, and you have a record, and you were fined $1,000 by Judge Lindsay. You can see that on the BostonMandelaScandal.com, Judge Mourad arrest. And therefore, why don't we take your motion and file it for you? We'll stamp it and give you a copy. By then, Judge Kenner realized, I said to them, I will be back in 3 weeks if she does not rule, and I will be arrested this time, and I will go on hunger strike because I'm entitled to a trial. The appeal court ruled in my favor. It's been 4 years. Then I think she had no choice, and the change of venue was to go to send this trial to New York, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, not Massachusetts, because she is the chief bankruptcy judge. Also, she was the chief bankruptcy of the appellate court. So therefore, even if I appeal her ruling, she controls the appeal court. She's the chief appeal court judge. So that's when she had no choice. She was cornered against the wall, bluntly. And then she assigned it to Judge Rosenthal. But what's ironic here, she denied the change of venue But then how could she send it to Worcester, to Judge Rosenthal? And technically, by law, you're supposed to send it to a pool. And you don't pick up a favorite judge, a colleague of hers, to finish her mission and finish Al Mourad.
Mr. Mourad, this is a very, very interesting case, and we will continue to talk about it. We're going to take a break. But before we take a break, I have a question. Should Al Mourad go to the Middle East and seek refuge at age 60, or should he stay here and continue to fight, even though he's lost in the bankruptcy court, he's lost with the IRS on a tax case, which we will discuss, and he is now in debt for over $600,000, but never received the benefit of the money that he was taxed on. Should he renounce his citizenship, or is there still an American dream for this Middle Easterner? Alphonse Mourad, a man who just a few years ago received over $3 million per year from his investments, today is indigent, homeless, and levied by the IRS for $539,754 in taxes, owed for $2,088,554 in capital gains. Mourad never received for the year 1997, and $536,000 Mourad never received for the year 1999. Alphonse Mourad's petition, motion to reopen and reconsider the panel's October 20th, 2004 decision based upon misrepresentations and fraudulent statements made by the IRS attorney at the September 16th, 2004 argument, the court's own failure to look at the record and the court's misstatement of the facts and misapplication of the law on who owned property for purposes of obtaining the low-income tax credit. First of all, let me state categorically, in order for anyone in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to get a tax credit, they must have ownership of the property. In order for anyone to be responsible to pay a tax, they must have received the income. In this instance, the Beacon Company got a tax credit that they were not entitled to. Stephen Gray was given ownership of the property by the court so that they could transfer that tax credit possibility to Beacon. Something just doesn't smell right to me. But yet, Alphonse Mourad is the one who has to pay the tax on the property, even though the court had awarded the property to Beacon.